intellectual narrative. IKS is often immediately classified today as a right-wing project. Such labels obscure more than they explain. For much of the 20th century, many dominant academic conversations regarding colonialism, nationalism, caste, identity, gender, and development emerged from broadly left or progressive intellectual traditions. Today, an alternative body of scholarship is emerging that focuses on civilization, indigenous traditions, religion, culture, nationalism, strategic thought, and decolonization. IKS should not be simply to replace one orthodoxy with another. The objective should be intellectual pluralism. Academic excellence requires disagreement. A university cannot function or flourish when one ideology monopolizes legitimate knowledge, like we did in JNU. Do you know in JNU, history, what is the definition of history? Facts are sacred, interpretations can vary. But our JNU historians turned it upside down. They said interpretation is sacred, facts can vary. And so you know what we did. IK is not anti-West. It is against intellectual monopolies. So we are against this wokeism, the left and others who say that they are the only intellectual tradition that can be there. We say that there are other traditions, and the one of it that is emerging is the Indian knowledge system, which does not believe in left and right because it is holistic. Perhaps the greatest misunderstanding surrounding IKS is that it seeks to reject Western knowledge. Historically, India never functioned this way. Nalanda welcomes scholars from all over Asia. Ancient Shastrartha encouraged debate rather than conformity. Knowledge advanced through criticism. When scholars disagree, like Adi Shankaracharya and Mandala Mishra, they had a debate. And who was the judge? A woman. So I would not like anybody who says that feminism began with Simone de Beauvoir. I would say Indian feminism has nothing to do with patriarchy. We have transcended patriarchy. Why? Draupadi is the first feminist. And please look at all of the questions she asked her husband. Nobody will ask even today. And let me tell you, we have mother goddesses. I don't know if all of you know, like Chamundeshwari, Madurai Meenakshi, or even all our Mundakaniyamman, where are the male gods? Mugamugambike. There is no male deity there. And men are also scared of her because she gives boons, she curses, she does everything, and she takes nobody's permission. And in Maharashtra, every town has a woman goddess who is the Devata, Grama Devata, like Jogeshwari or even Vana Devata. Even when you go into a forest, it is the mother goddess. So please remember that these traditions are very close. Hence the objective today, therefore, is not replacing Western scholarship. Rather, it is creating an intellectual environment where Indian traditions participate as equals. Plurality, not replacement, should remain the guiding principle. You all should become multilingual. English is not the enemy. English will aid us if you know your Sanskrit and other Indian languages well. Absolutely not. English remains the language of global science, of international collaboration, diplomacy, publishing, and technology. The challenge is not English itself. Rejecting English is to isolate Indian scholarship. The challenge is that English has become the only gateway through which India is often interpreted. Equally important is strengthening Sanskrit. As rightly Professor Dubey said, a word like dharma cannot be translated into English. So dharma should be dharma. So Sanskritized English. Tamil, there are words that Pali, Prakrit, and India's numerous regional languages. A confident civilization should be multilingual. English should become India's window to the world, not a substitute for India's own intellectual languages. The Indian right and the knowledge gap. Unfortunately, while the left developed a long-term academic ecosystem through universities, journals, publishing houses, research networks, and theoretical schools, the Indian right has generally not invested to the same extent in institution building. Much of the right's intellectual output remains reactive, topical, and event-driven, rather than cumulative and theory-building. Enduring ideas require sustained scholarship, peer review, archives, translation, research centers, and doctoral training. So that is why a person like Madan Mohan Malaviya ji becomes very, very relevant. Because he said where Saraswati stays, to fund research you need money. Mahalakshmi has to come, then only you will become Durga. The objective should not be to replace one academic orthodoxy. He should become the model for modern Indian education. Jahan you want to start a university, see like him whether you have had sources of income at the university. Even sir, after your Vishwanath temple, I told JNU, क्योंकि हम भिखारी हैं, बाबा वेंकटेश्वरा का टेम्पल लाकर रख लो. I am from Andhra, so बहुत money आ जाएगी. So at least we can show it as receipts. I am being very honest. Please, I am telling you, the burden of evidence, pride cannot replace scholarship. Civilizational confidence should never become civilizational mythology. Every claim, whether ancient or modern, must withstand historical scrutiny, textual criticism, scientific testing where applicable, peer review, and evidence. Making IKS truly Bharatiya, an organic and inclusive project. Perhaps the greatest danger facing IKS is excessive centralization. If IKS becomes confined to one language, one region, one tradition, or one community, it defeats its own civilizational foundations. A genuinely Bharatiya IKS must emerge organically from the contributions of every region of India. It becomes archival, should include the Tamil Sangam literature, Shaiva Vaishnava traditions like the Alvars and the Nayanmars, Buddhist philosophical traditions, Jain epistemology, tribal ecological knowledge, oral tradition, folk sciences, maritime traditions. Do most of you know Indian kings were great shipbuilders? The Marathas were great. You had Kanoji Angre, Western Indian Ocean, Rajendra Chola in the Southeast Asia. Do you know we conquered Southeast Asia, defeated China? None of you are, but please be proud of your civilization. Northeast India's environmental knowledge, Himalayan traditions, women's intellectual contributions, artisanal knowledge system. Please remember, we are the only civilization that has Gargi, Maitreyi, and Lopamudra, who are great saints. And these saints, no civilization survives in speaking in one voice. Finally, I want to talk to you on how are you going to take IKS as a global narrative beyond branding towards an intellectual presence. Interconnecting IKS should never become a PR or public relations exercise, nor should it become propaganda. Its purpose is much deeper. For centuries, India's contributions to philosophy, mathematics, and others should come out. Please remember, the Mughals did not come and civilize us. We are older than all civilizations in the world. You believe in science. Today, carbon dating has taken place. There are two places called Kaladi and Raki Gargi, which has proved that this civilization is 10,000 years old. We civilized them. They did not civilize us. They were picking up stones when we were very civilized. So Indians, please be proud. So do not think that whenever everybody says the British came and gave you democracy. That shows, please remember Magna Carta. 100 years before Magna Carta was Uttara Merur inscription of the Cholas, or the Anubhava Mandapa of Basava. Do you even know these names? See, ignorance is arrogance, and ignorance with arrogance combined will ruin you with your artificial intelligence. Please improve your analytical intelligence with your artificial intelligence. And finally, I would like to tell you that we have to go to a state where Oxford, Tokyo, Harvard, Heidelberg, Cape Town teach Indian thinkers alongside Plato, Confucius, and Kant. Panini is studied alongside Chomsky, Kautilya alongside Machiavelli, Charvaka alongside Hippocrates, Aryabhatta alongside Newton, Abhinavagupta alongside Aristotle, Buddhist logic alongside analytical philosophy, Sangam literature alongside Homer and Virgil. You can add to this list. I would only end with the Upanishadic prayer. Asatoma satgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Vande Mataram.
Thank you, ma'am. As a truest guru, ma'am has very well shed light on the excessive reliance and dependency on technology. But as rightly she said, technology can never replace the power of narratives. Ma'am also highlighted on the salient features and speciality of Indian knowledge system, comprising of various methods of inquiry, philosophy and traditions, which is beyond the dichotomy of the left and the right. Ma'am has also stressed on so many ancient literatures and personalities. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the beautiful address. We are joined by the chair for the inaugural session, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Banaras Hill University, Professor Ajit Kumar Chaturvedi. Please join hands to welcome the Honorable Vice Chancellor. May I request the coordinator, Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay Chair, Professor Tej Pratap Singh Sir, to felicitate the chair of the inaugural session, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Ajit Kumar Chaturvedi ji, by presenting a short, a bouquet and memento. Thank you, sir. कार्यक्रम की कड़ी में आगे बढ़ते हुए मैं आज के मुख्य अतिथि पूज्य श्री मिथिलेश नंदिनी शरण जी